Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Well, today's high is going to be 71. We got a little bit of rain yesterday, so I'm happy about that. And when it dries out a little bit later this afternoon, I'm going to go finish harvesting probably what's going to be the last of the tomatoes. I'll still leave them on to see if any more will turn red. But there aren't that many more left out there, mostly cherry tomatoes. So I'm not planning on going out shopping or anything today. A couple more days left now in September. And I want to finish out the month with my no shop. So I think September was a success as far as that went. And then we'll see how October does. One day at a time, 1 month at a time. That's how I'm approaching this. And I'm just continuing on with decluttering eventually. Our first frost date is going to be, I think, October 15th. But that doesn't mean we're going to get a frost then, but that's the predicted frost date for those of us that want to plant here in Zone 6. That's the zone that I live in, and our planting season is coming to an end. So around January, or no, that's too early, probably mid-February around then, beginning of March, I'm going to do some winter sowing for next year's spring crops. I'm not planting as many things as I did last year. Last year was an experiment for me. And now I can tell which crops are going to be doing okay and which will be worth it to plant and which ones weren't really worth the effort. So that'll be a project for late winter, and really it's not expensive. You do it with baggies, or you can save water bottles, the gallon bottles, and do it in there. So I may make a video about that when the time comes, but in the meantime, if you're interested, there are a lot of YouTube videos out there on winter sowing that you might want to take a look at if you have an interest in that. So let's see how we did with the coffee this morning. It's supposed to start warming up a little bit the rest of the week. Low 80s a couple days, which is nice. But it's been really pleasant out. I kind of enjoy the cooler weather now. I appreciate it much more than I did when I was younger. All right, let's give the coffee a taste. Cheers. All right, that's good. So, all right, my friends, I will enjoy my coffee now, and then I will meet you at the budget book. All right, back at the budget book. Well, yesterday I didn't spend any money, so 2 days left to go. My neighbor sent me a text this morning, and she heard from the roof guy, and apparently he's supposed to be starting the roofs on Monday. So I'm not real excited about that. She seemed to be in her text. But I'm not real excited to have to spend $12,000 on that endeavor. So, but it has to be done. So when you're on a fixed income and these big bills come in, it makes it a little more difficult to pay things off. But I'm still going to keep on track and pay off the car and the other little consolidated loan that I have. I was hoping to get all that done before I proceeded with the roof, but timing didn't work out that way. And if you're going to get a new roof, you're going to want to do it in the fall and not in the winter months. So that's the status on the roof. And then sometime mid-October, my handyman guy said he put me on the schedule. I'm not sure about that date either. So I have quite a few jobs lined up for him that have to be done. So I'm hoping to be able to save the cash for that, because I don't want to put any more money on the credit card that I have. And that credit card goes with the consolidated loan. So I haven't really used that. The last time I used that was when I had to have 3 trees taken down in the backyard, and that was $1,200, but it had to be done. So a lot of you that have been with me for a while know that one of the trees was falling apart. It had actually twice 2 huge limbs, like half the tree was gone. They came down, and that had to be cleaned up. And then the other 2 I had taken down were rubbing against the house. They were just way too close to the house. So they had to go. I was sad about the red buds, but sometimes you have to do these things. I hate taking down any trees unless it's absolutely necessary. But if it comes between the tree and ruining my house, well, then I guess the tree has to go. So anyway, that is what my goal is at the moment, is saving up cash for my repairs and paying off some debt, and then not creating any new debt. That's very important. And I haven't done that in a while. So anyway, I'm going to have a little breakfast. The leg is getting better. For those of you that don't know, that are new here, I developed a bit of a clot in my one leg. So I've been having to take it easy, keep it elevated, and take some non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, which isn't good for the stomach, and I try to avoid them, but you have to eat with those. So I'm going to be having breakfast earlier than I normally do, just so that I can take that pill. And hopefully this will resolve itself in a week or 2. So, all right, that's the latest and the greatest this morning. I'm going to go apply some heat to my leg and drink my morning coffee. I'll be back later. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to have some afternoon tea. It's still too hot. I've really been enjoying afternoon tea. I bought a jug of honey at Walmart, probably the beginning of the year. It was several months ago anyway. And the honey crystallized. It's in a jug. So, I mean, I wanted to transfer it to some smaller mason jars before that happened. But, you know, life goes on and you forget about things. So now it's crystallized. So I have it just very low in a pot of hot water, and it seems to be doing the trick. And then I will put it in the mason jars, because you know, the plastic jug, it's hard to get anything out of there. So I'm doing that. I don't want to waste any of the honey. So wanted to come on and thank all my new viewers. Since my birthday, I hit 5,000 subscribers on my birthday, which was on the 11th, and that was a nice birthday gift. And now, at the end of the month, I've reached 6,000 subscribers. So I'm just amazed that so many of you are enjoying and watching my videos. So I just wanted to welcome all the new subscribers, thank my old subscribers that have been with me pretty much since the beginning. I don't remember exactly what year I started this YouTube channel, but I think it was in March. Well, I made a YouTube video a long time ago, but then I never did anything with the channel. So, but I think I seriously started posting videos sometime in March 4, maybe 5 years ago. I don't know, I'd have to look at the date. So if any of you are YouTubers, don't get discouraged. I mean, it took a long time to get that first 1,000 subscribers, and it actually took me quite a while to get to 5,000. But for some reason, YouTube is liking me at the moment and pushing out my videos, and you guys apparently are enjoying it too. So, and I especially want to thank you for commenting, giving me a thumbs up, sharing the videos, watching to the end with the ads. I know those get a little tedious, but that really, really helps me out. And YouTube, when I first started it, I mean, I basically did it for fun, and then I found that I enjoyed it. And then I found out that I could make a little bit of extra money doing the YouTube videos. So my average for the YouTube videos from AdSense, and it pays you once a month. So the average, I average between $100 usually and $150. So that helps. You know, that's almost my grocery budget, you know, if I don't go too far over. But anyway, I just wanted to thank everybody for doing the commenting and all that. I very much appreciate it. So a nice thing that also happened to me this month, my birthday month, I've gotten several gifts from viewers that were just really, really nice gifts. And again, I want to say thank you to everybody. And yesterday, I got another gift from a viewer who wants to remain anonymous, but I thought this was really cute. It's an Amazon gift card in this really cute little bag. So, and then you open the bag and up pops the card. So, you know who you are, and I really sincerely want to thank you very much. So, it's been a really nice birthday month. A lot of people don't enjoy their birthdays, especially as they get older. I enjoy mine a lot. At least I know I've lived as long as I have. Some people don't get that privilege. So I'm very grateful whenever I get to another birthday. I always thank God I made it to another year. And however long the Lord lets me stay on this beautiful planet will be a win. So today I decided when I woke up that I was going to make myself a good day. So even if negative things happen in the day, I'm going to try and find something positive, something to be thankful for, and put the rest of the stuff on the back burner that I can't do anything about. but that maybe might upset me for one reason or another. I'm going to put that on the back burner and make myself a good day. And hopefully you can make yourself a good day too. Try to find as many positive things going on in the day that you can. You know, even if it's somebody smiled at me at the store, or I had a great meal, or anything. You know, you can be thankful really for anything. It doesn't have to be, you know, I won the lottery, although that would be really awesome. But you have to play in order to win. And I never was much of a gambler. I prefer the bird in the hand instead of two in the bush. And that's probably why I never became wealthy either, because a lot of people that become wealthy are a little bit of a gambler. You know, they put their money out there and go out and hustle and get their business going, but that always scared me. I know when I was a hairdresser, I had thought about starting my own shop, and but then it's like, oh, what if it doesn't bring enough income, or, you know, and I was a single mom with 3 kids, so I had to think about them too. I didn't want to lose my home, and so I just never went for it. But I did have a little business on the side several years ago, and it was an art business, and I made jewelry and paintings, and it didn't set the world on fire, but, you know, it brought maybe an extra $3,000 a year in for whatever I needed it. So, but then when I got into the nursing, I didn't have time for all that. I mean, that little side business, I did that when I was a hairdresser, because a lot of times hairdressers don't make that much. It depends. Tips are great, and of course nowadays, you know, hair services are way more expensive than they were back then. You know, I used to have the little old ladies with the purple hair. Now the young people have the purple hair. You know, they do the blue or the purple rinse because they had beautiful white hair. And then you do the roller set, and they'd get their perms once every 3 or 4 months, or their color once a month. And then you wouldn't see them for another week. So those were what we called our bread and butter patrons. And now it's pretty much, you know, somebody will come in for a hair color, or somebody will come in for a haircut. So it's a cut and a blowout, or a cut and a color, and that can get pretty expensive. So I do all that stuff to my own hair, but, you know, I kind of have a little bit of an advantage because I was a hairdresser. So, but I let that license lapse a long time ago because especially as you get older, that's really hard on your back. It's hard on your legs because you're standing in one spot all the time. So, I mean, a lot of people can make good money doing hair. But back when I did it, you really didn't have any benefits. And if you did, they were terrible. So, but the tips were great. At the end of the day, I always had some money in my pocket. So I did miss that. Let me give my tea a taste. I've been into the honey thing lately, and this is white tea, and I'm finding I really like the white tea. Yep, that's good. So anyway, that's a little bit of my background. And I think I still have all my beads and all my paints, and I have my canvases. And so I'm thinking once my house is put more in order and I have a little bit more room and a little less stuff, I might, you know, get myself a little Etsy shop or something along those lines. When I had my own little art business, I used to schlep the stuff around. I had tables and a tent, and I'd go to church bazaars or art shows, anything like that. But I can't do that anymore because my car's too small and the tables are big and the tent's big, and plus all the jewelry you've made or paintings, all that has to fit in your car. So unless you have a van or a good-sized SUV, that's really kind of not something that you can do. So I think I would just try selling things online if I did that again. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you all very much for your support. I really appreciate it. It's helping out a lot. And again, if you want to join our Facebook group, it's the same name, it's the group. And for some reason, I think when I was trying to set up the group, I was having a hard time because it was new to me. So there's actually 2 groups on there, I noticed. One only has 33 subscribers, and the other one has like 100 and some. I can't remember exactly how many. Well, subscribe to the 100 and some. I don't really know quite what to do with the one with 33 members. If I delete it, all the members will be gone. So if you're in that group, sign up to the one that has the 100 and some subscribers. And it has a picture of me with something. The other one just has a picture of the garden. Yeah, don't do the garden one, do the one with the picture of me. So anyway, I'm going to go put my leg up and get my heating pad again. It's getting kind of old, but yeah, I can catch up on some YouTube videos. But I'm thankful, very thankful, thank you Lord, that the leg is not getting any worse. It doesn't hurt anymore when I stand up. When I used to elevate it and then I would stand up, and the blood would rush in there in that spot, it would be painful. So that's pretty much gone, and so it is improving. So thank you all very much for your well wishes and your prayers, and I appreciate it very much. So okay, I'll be back later. If I do anything exciting, I'll share that. Otherwise, I'll be back to sign off. Well, I harvested a nice big bowl of green onions and chard, tomatoes, nice big crimp tomato under there, some kale. So that's pretty much winding down for the garden harvest. So the begonias I'm going to leave for any stray bees that are still hanging around. So the tomatoes are pretty much done. So this is what the garden still looks like. I haven't been able to get out here this past week because of my leg issues, but next week it's going to be nice, so I'm going to try and come out here and do a few things. There's some baby elephant ears in that pot that I want to put in a pot for in the house. So, yep, the garden's winding down. Thank you for all the beautiful harvest this year. And hopefully next year will be just as good. Well, all right, I did harvest some things. I think I might have enough out there yet for one more harvest of kale, a small kale and chard. But pretty much the garden is done. Peppers are gone. Almost all the tomatoes are gone. A few cherry tomatoes yet, but that's pretty much it. So I'm very pleased with my garden this year. And hopefully next year it'll be just as good. It was plenty of produce for me. I did have to buy lettuce later on in the season and cucumbers because I forgot to start the cucumbers early enough. So, but you know, a cucumber is like 99 cents, so it's not going to break the bank either. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Thanks for watching.